We're looking at possibly one of the least loved F1 tracks on the schedule, the Hard Rock Stadium circuit in Miami. For the most part, this isn't actually too bad of a temporary course, but then there's turns 14 through 16, which are tight, blind, and serve no purpose from a competition standpoint, and instead exist only to move you around a concrete pillar supporting an overpass above. I understand you can only do so much on temporary design sometimes, but yeesh. Beyond that, it's some classic modern F1 track design, long straights that lead into tight turns to somewhat artificially create passing, and wiggly bits designed to throw off setups. That might not sound too complimentary, but that's F1 course design for you from the last 20 years or so. Anyways, taking you through a lap in Miami at the line, and the first thing you're going to notice is that after a straightaway here, turn 1 is a right angle turn, leading into turn 2, and then turn 3 here, you can throttle out of it or you can swing wide. Kind of depends on your setup, and it kind of depends on just what works for you timing-wise. Turns 4, 5, and 6 here are kind of like stair steps that decrease gear each time. 7 there, 6 here, 5 there. Going into turn 7, you're looking for the black Pirelli advertisement on the right-hand side for your braking marker. Try to hit the apex here and get a good clean exit because this is a full throttle section. You could call it a straightaway if you want, but there's turn 9 coming up right here. You get a DRS zone coming down here, and you really get to think about how you're coming up to another right angle turn after a long straightaway. Funny how that works. So, turn 11, right angle. Turn 12 and 13 here, they just kind of exist to cram you over to turns 14, 15, and 16, which is the aforementioned concrete pillar. Aim for the wall over there because you can't see where you're turning, at least on this mod. And then once you hit turn 16, make sure you get a good exit because you're on a long back straightaway here. I mean long. This thing goes on forever. But, you know, it encourages you, from a setup point of view, to minimize your downforce settings. Hard turn 17 that folds in on itself with the help of turn 18, and there's a clever DRS zone in the apex of turn 19, and that's a lap around Miami. That lap was 128.4, which puts me into the bottom portion of the field, but still into the field for the real-life 2023 Grand Prix. One last note I think is worth saying, there's an older version of this mod out there, Miami, that is quicker, to the tune of about 4 or 5 seconds. I was able to rip off a 125 with no practice around that one. Anyways, on to the race.
Oh, golly. Anybody get dizzy yet? Pass. Oh! Figure out if I was the idiot or... That's it. We win. That was a lot of fun. That one.
All right, 55 laps, let's go. We're starting P6. We'll probably drop back a little bit, but then we'll work forward. Miami or you rammy? We rammy, comrade. We rammy. Rammy.
All right. Clear right. You're clear.
So we are on the hardest tire, the hardest compound, and the fuel is as full as it goes. And we're hoping that's enough to give the AI a fair fight, or a little bit more. I'm ahead in the standings this year right now. I'm first place by over 1 win. So I'm trying to make it a little more difficult for myself for the last 3 races of the spring season here. Of which I'm kind of hoping we'll get to 2 of them today. We'll see. We'll see how time goes. Whoop. Somebody's already DNF'd up back there on the back stretch. Gasly's going to make a move. Sargent. Who could have predicted that? That's too bad. I guess I am the remaining American in this American race. I'm gonna have to represent the flag and cut off signs here.
Right side.
So I kind of think with the hard tires, we just need to wait for the temperatures to get up. They're gonna be cold right now.
Car ahead is sights.
Yeah, if the bubbles are showing up in the top right corner and you don't hear me, that should mean that something's gone wrong. Turn up a little bit of battery here, see if that helps. I mean, it should, right? I hate the bridge section, by the way. It's very stupid. We don't have to focus on it. Don't have to make it a big thing. But it's a dumb part of a racetrack. Putting a super tight left, right, left. Just because you got to go around a concrete pole. Probably just design your track so you don't go near the concrete pole. That's my thought. But what would I know? I'm not Herman Tilk. Michael Bublé is up in the top right corner. The soft tires, they're so wiggly. Or I mean, I'm sorry, the hard tires. They are so wiggly. Opposite of soft, hard. Especially under, like, heavy braking. Gotta kind of tiptoe into a braking zone. Basically, when you ask the hard tires to do anything, they're not very fast. Ah, DRS, don't mind if I do. Ah, he's gonna leave the inside open for me. So I'm gonna lock it up and go wide like an idiot.
Left side. Clear left. On your left. Clear left. Far left.
I don't want to go too wide through here, but he kind of just sucked at passing me, so okay. Alright, well, he tried. Tried his best. Now we got some space. 2.5 ahead, 1.5 behind. Giving me space to work with. That's it's very gracious of you, computer game. Yeah, these hard tires suck, don't they? Hi guys, how you doing? Thought I'd just come hang out.
Yellow flag.
Well, as is a Nifty tradition, we're starting the race kind of backwards. Oh, hey, not just me. So America holding down P22 and P20. Not great for the Yanks right now. We're gonna have to do some recovering here.
DeVries behind is pitching now.
DeVries is out. So we are the last car circulating. Cool, cool. I don't know if I have a comeback in me today, honestly, at this track. Kind of made it really hard for myself as it was, putting on the hards, obviously. So an effort to storm through the field might not be on the menu today, boys. We'll see what happens. One spot at a time. Tsunoda is first up. That's not going to help.
Pay attention to track limits, please go.
Alright, let's get focused on this. Task at hand, task at hand. Got to delay the throttle coming out of turn, whatever, 5,378 there. Should pull up a track map on the other monitors so that I can say, oh, turn 7 or whatever.
The gap ahead is now 3.8.
I think we're also going to keep it in second. That should kind of soften the exit speed on the corners for me a little bit. Soften the torque. Go down to first for the engine braking, then right back up to second. It might be our key to success on these tires. I think we're slowly reaching towards Tsunoda here. Gained a 10th on him last lap. We'll see what we do this lap. Bossabot says to follow and subscribe and like and all that jazz. Tell Nifty in the comments if you're watching on YouTube how garbage he is at racing games. What did you say about being in first off the corners? Come on, Nifty. Playing it risky. Gained a couple tenths on that lap. It wasn't even a good lap. That's a good sign. Kind of think once we catch up to this pack, getting to 15th isn't going to be too much of a struggle, but then moving up from there will be. Doesn't help that in some of these hairpins the frame rate kind of drops on me. I don't know if that translates through the stream or not, but it's real. And it's only happening in the slow turns, of course. We are slowly learning how to go not so slow. Every lap I'm bringing it down a tenth or two. Not just the gap in front, but my own lap times.
Russell is now in the lead.
That doesn't really concern me right now, Jim. Yeah, through first and second gear, kind of skating the car.
20th place.
It's really uncomfortable. Well, 2.2 now on the gap, 2.0 now on the gap. Leader is into turn 1. I don't know. We got 45 laps to figure this out. Just no more mistakes. Got to take it real super nice and easy. Tried to do it again. Caught it that time, though.
Okay, Bo, the next car is Magnussen.
Didn't do such a good job gaining time on that lap. There's a huge gap now between 15th place and 14th place. Look at that map up there.
Magnussen ahead is now 1.5 seconds.
And we're closing in on Magnussen. That felt like a pretty good lap. See, I'm going to imagine that at this point the tires are warm. That's why I feel like I have more control over the car. Not exactly a skill issue compared to the beginning. Well, I mean, it is, because I didn't manage the cold tires, but... Hey, Pixales, how you doing? Just outside of DRS zone with Magnussen right here. How am I? I am last place right now. Not great. But we'll work our way back. Qualified 6th, and then I think on the second lap I spun the car. I don't think I hit anything though. Like I think getting it going again was actually pretty realistic. I'm just way back here now. That's awesome. It's awesome when you spin the car. Haha! You suck. I know that's not what you meant.
Times are pretty consistent.
Thanks, Jim. Have you played the new one? How is it? Alright, this is for sure DRS zone, right? Oh god. That was embarrassing. I was scratching my eye. Ah, DRS anyway. Well, despite clipping the wall on the backside... Oh, I lied. I thought that was going to be our fastest lap, but it's just short of it. $23 feels better than 22. Hang on, I gotta...
Yeah, so Magnussen in front is now 0.6.
Gotcha. Okay. Hunter, was it 23 or 22 we were playing? I don't... Probably 22, right? I would assume the new one hadn't come out. Yeah, which wasn't a bad game, and actually was not even, like, a lot of console titles, you call them, you know, you risk them being more arcade than simulation, but that felt pretty simulatory to me. Whoever's in 15th is off in the hairpin up here. Oh, it's a Red Bull. Perez is done. Drama.
Let's put this hard work to good use. P19, Perez behind is pitting.
Red flags are back. Well, They did kind of make that mandatory after Australia this year, didn't they? Like, oh, you gotta throw in red flags. It's a central element to F1 racing nowadays. Not like I can make too much fun of it as an IndyCar fan, but... at all, really. Come on, I would very much like to gain a position here. Yeah, let's fly by him. And then hold it down. That's where we made our mistake last time.
Keep it up.
On making a pass, anyway. Yeep. Yeep. I hate that turn. Hate it so much. Now run away. I don't think he's gaining on us, which is good.
The gap behind is now 0.9, P18.
So what's it take to get a red flag in F1 23? Just a safety car? Gotcha. Well, that's more than Assetto can do. No safety cars here. Ah. Lance Stroll in turn one. Yeah. Copy. There's a lot of space now between us and 17th. I don't care for that. Gotta kind of keep our eyes on the prize here. Take it a turn at a time, all those cliches. We're not really going to make time by worrying about time, if that makes sense. Of course, we're not going to make time by swinging the back end around either. So, it's just... on a full load of fuel, on the hardest compound possible, it is really hard to get the car to rotate through that stupid section with the concrete pillar. I'm starting to hear that opinion a lot. To me, it probably depends on if you came in recently or if you've kind of watched F1 for a while, because I've kept my eye, you know, I mean, I catch F1 every now and then, and I have for years, and you get years like this, you get formulas like this, right? The formula part of Formula 1 is you know, like what dimensions, what engine they can make for the car, all that jazz. And one maker is going to figure it out, you know, way ahead of everyone else. And I think that's kind of what's happening with F1. I mean, you go back, now I'm in my 30s, right? So I can kind of remember Schumacher being really dominant in the 2000s and seeing some of that. And then in the 2010, in the early, kind of like 2000, I don't remember, but like 2008 through 2012, I bet, or whatever, was just the era of Vettel at Red Bull, right? Then you had Mercedes with Hamilton, and now you have Verstappen at Red Bull. And it's just one of the makers figures out the formula ahead of time compared to everyone else. And right now it is Red Bull's turn. They'll come out with a new formula for Formula One, right? And it'll end up being someone else's turn. Kind of cycles like that. And it's interesting because the seemingly two times where it gets really competitive are at the very beginning of a formula and the very end of a formula. That's kind of what we saw at the end of the last one. Was Verstappen taking it to Hamilton and coming really close to winning a championship, and then it coming down to the last race, right? And then the last race was the last race in Abu Dhabi, and everybody knows about that, and everybody's got opinions about it. But then the formula changed, and it was kind of like who's going to come out of the gate at the top of here. And turned out it was Red Bull, so now we got to wait for everyone else to catch up. If you're looking for good racing, of course, and this is a cliche at this point to say, but go check out IndyCar. But if you're not feeling IndyCar for whatever reason, check out the supercars from Australia. They just introduced a new formula as well. They're on Gen 3 down there. And it's Ford versus Chevy, actually. They don't even call them Holdens anymore. It's the Corvette. It's the Corvette versus the Mustang. It's a great, it's more than that, I mean, they're supercharged cars, supercharged engines, right? And it's just close, great action, just the best action you can have in tin top racing, where, you know, there's beating and banging every race, and you can't predict the winner. Like for years, Red Bull's got two cars down there. And for years, it's been Van Gisbergen, Shane Van Gisbergen, that's been at the top of there. But right now, this year, I think it's, oh gosh, Aussies are going to hate me. I think it's Kostecki in the, at the top right now. And you get other drivers down there that can shine through on any given day. And you start like learning the personalities of the drivers based on how they drive, which is something I feel like that might be missing from F1. Unless someone is as bad as me and they gain a reputation for just being careless, you don't really get a lot of sense of like, oh, this driver is extremely aggressive. This driver, like, you know, compared to supercars, I'm gonna say, right, where I watch Cam Waters and I feel like he is one of the most aggressive drivers in the world right now, honestly. Like successful aggressive. Always pushing a car probably harder than he should, forcing issues that he shouldn't, but making it work. And that's my little advert for supercar racing down in Australia. I need to catch up on the latest rounds. I didn't see last weekend's. But otherwise, I think, caught up on the season down there.
Let me get on the back stretch here, and then I'll check out your message there, Pixalas. Yeah, I do think Vettel's reign was less dramatic, I guess you would say, or less decisive, I guess is probably the word I'm looking for. Like, Vettel was still the odds-on favorite for the championship in those years, but you could get surprises. Schumacher, it reminds me of Schumacher, it really does, where it was like, oh, Schumacher's gonna win again, right? Like, foregone conclusion before you watch the race. My thing with F1 is always, I know Max Verstappen is supremely talented. I know that. But because he's got such a good car, I don't know how talented, right? Like, I know that car is dynamite, and I know him in that car is dynamite, but like, if you want to say Verstappen's the best driver in the world, I can't argue, but I don't think you can argue either, you know, because if I said prove it, you'd have to find him in the same equipment as other drivers, and that's not out there. I do think, though, from what I've read, that Verstappen is interested in moving on from F1 after a while. Like, I've seen him talk about Le Mans a lot, and that would be interesting. I would love to see that. That's always been my critique. Talking about the supercars again, I've always said, put an F1 driver in one of those supercars. I want to see what they can do when they have to actually handle a beast of a car. These things are like driving on easy mode. I still biff it into people. I suck. I am clearly not the best driver in the world. But, let's try getting real. Okay, that might be the key to success to that section there. Good thing I found it 22 laps in. But like, you know, like, God, I want to see Lewis Hamilton in a V8 supercar. I want to see it. I want to see how he handles it, if he can, you know? Because, in F1, and you know, IndyCar, open wheelers, you have to really calculate your aggression. You can be aggressive, but you have to decide when you're going to go for it. You can't just always go for it. You can't, and you can't in any motorsport, really. That's kind of a stupid thing to say, but that switch can be turned on a lot longer if you have fenders. Not to mention the fact that those supercars are so squirrely in the back end. Like, just, they are a handful to drive. And I'm not saying, you know, Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen couldn't do it. I'm saying I want to see him do it. I think it would be a treat. I don't think Alonso did Le Mans, right? And he also did the Daytona prototypes too. But I don't think he's been down to the supercars. I think the last driver I heard of doing the supercars from F1 was Villeneuve. Well, I guess technically Bourdais. He did them. And kind of cleaned up. Like, so one of the cool things about that supercar series, this is apparently just a supercars love fest right now for me. But one of the cool things about there is that they do have some endurance races, like the Bathurst 1000, I think, and the Bathurst 1000 might actually be a different race, but they have a very long race at Bathurst, and they also have very long races at Surfers Paradise, I think. They have endurance races, right? And so they have co-drivers, and a lot of times they invite kind of international superstars down there to co-drive those cars. And there was a while where a lot of the IndyCar guys were doing it. They were coming down and... God, somebody, was it Hinchcliffe, ended up on his lid? Somebody did. Anyway, that was back like 10 years ago, but that was a lot of fun. And Bourdais cleaned house with 888 Racing. the cars that ended up becoming the Red Bull cars down there. I mean, to be fair, it wasn't just Bourdais. It was like Jamie Whincup and like, you know, a super team down there. I'm not saying Bourdais carried them to victory, not at all. I kind of think, you know, Bourdais was the best of the guests. We got a big clusterfuck in the hairpin here, it looks like, on the map. Oh, speaking of Hamilton, he's out. Lewis Hamilton up against the wall. Now we need to swing way out here and then turn in. And get our turn in right. It's almost blind. That's the key to success there. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense because they do share. Like Melbourne is also on the Supercars calendar, so that makes sense. I missed that. But he hasn't, like, competed, right? Like, he hasn't scored points or anything.
Car in front is Gasly. The gap behind is now 11 seconds.
I could be wrong, by the way. I could just have been oblivious to that. They used to not... The Supercars used to not score Melbourne... points-wise, used to not a not points-paying race, an exhibition, and that just kind of invites me to ignore it, which I really hope IndyCar listens to what I just said when they consider going down to Argentina next year. If it's a non-points scoring round, I am much more likely to ignore it. You are telling me, you are signaling to me as an audience, this doesn't matter. Anyway. Way late in the braking zone there. Okay. I probably do need to start getting a little bit less comfortable. But I feel like that's the kind of thing I say right before I spin out. But I'm not making up nearly as much time as I'd like. We're about halfway through the race here. But yeah, regardless of if Alonso did or didn't race those, I highly recommend catching that series if you can. It's such good racing. Ah! Fuck me. I pulled a Kirkwood there. If anybody watched the IndyCar race last week at Road America, there, Kirkwood locked it up in order to not get into the back of a car ahead of him. That's what I just did. Hey, Flacco. Yeah, that bump draft really came around on me, right? How you doing, Flacco? I see the RL there. We should play some Rocket League soon. I was talking to some of the Ether guys about playing some as well. Been a minute since I played some Rocket League. It's an honest living. Working, not Rocket League. Alright, let's go ahead and burn some battery. Try to catch back up to where I just was. I need you to come in here and engineer my car, Flacco. Although then I would just tank the setup because I have to try to draw even with the AI, which is kind of the real reason I suck today is that I've got the hard tires on and a full tank of fuel, and I mean, I'm just giving you excuses, but it makes it more challenging to drive. It's a very slippery car today.
Gasly. The gap is now 5.0 seconds.
Like I'm dropping down to second on corner exits just to kind of reduce the back end to the torque, I guess, on corner exit so I don't loop it.
17.
Can you figure out how to engineer my car so that it's slow but stable? Because that's what I need. Because I have to keep handicapping hang on. I have to continue to handicap myself against the AI in certain races. Those are the ones that are always sloppy because I'm on a suboptimal setup, you know what I mean? Keep handicapping? Yeah, you could use handicapping like that. Yeah, keep handicapping myself. Okay. Thanks. Sorry, English was hard for a minute there. We're having a better day than Tsunoda. We can say that. And a couple of other guys who DNF'd. Perez and Hamilton are out. Now, actually, the next race is going to be in Hockenheim, and the AI, I found a file for it on Race Department, so the AI is actually pretty competent, so I don't have to tank my setup. So I can just actually run a car that I'm able to set up how I want.
Gasly in front is now 3.7 seconds.
So I won't have any excuses out of Hockenheim. Oh, we lost someone else. Looks like it's Norris. Heck, we might get into the points on attrition here. We are not the only cars having a problem today. I'm starting to notice I like temporary circuits, street circuits, when they are following a city grid or something, like when they're not parking lots, I guess. And that's a weakness on my part. I'm not, at this moment, I'm not trying to insult the design of this track. I'll insult it later. But, like Baku, I looked around on the internet for what is the hot lap time. And I did alright, actually. I came pretty... I was pretty fast after not a long time trying to hot lap. Check that out on YouTube, by the way. But, that's because it's mostly a narrow city grid kind of track, you know? When you get these temporary tracks that are kind of the worst of both worlds, that's when I seem to struggle. Which is, again, just a weakness on my part, and something we're going to massage out. And actually, I don't think this layout is too bad. I'm trashing on it. The whole section with that concrete pillar is stupid as hell. That really brings this, like if we were making a tier list, that brings this track down a couple of tiers. But everything else is fair enough. Very kind of F1 standard lately. You got hairpins, you got wiggly bits, you got things that are tough to set up for. You got straightaways that aren't straight. I think like a lot of folks, I'll always prefer natural terrain road courses, but you don't always get those. And I'll say that I don't think I'm particularly fast at those. Like, I was really happy when I went to go do the hot lap in Baku. Felt like, wow, Nifty, you don't suck as bad as you think you do. But then I go to do a hot lap here. I'm sure it's going to be awful. Just whatever. I don't know what it is, but I'm just better at those style of tracks. Just close walls, right angle turns, point and squirt. Hey, Flacco! So I've spun twice in this race, but I still don't think I've hit anything. Bad sector. What does MGU stand for? Yeah, I win one on style. Most donuts completed before the end of the race. What does MGU stand for? I'm not smart. Something unit. Like, I think the K, kinetic, right? I think it's KERS is what it really is. Kinetic energy retention system, something like that. But, this game calls it MGU. I don't know what the MGU means. Motor generator unit, thank you. I'm playing with that on the straightaways, trying to catch up a bit. It's the, I don't know, you can't really see the steering wheel, so that doesn't really help you. But on my steering wheel, I've got a blue bar telling me how much I have left of it. Spoiler alert, not a lot. If I ran it full for a lap, it would go from 100% to 0% just about. So I'm trying to... And then you have to wait for it to charge, and it's taken what, 20 laps to get it back to halfway, and now I just blew some of it. I mean, that's okay, though. I blew it in order to get back up to Gasly here, but, you know, there's a bit of economy to it. Kind of threatening. Hey, Frames. Come back. Come back to me, Frames. Alright, we should have a good shot at a pass down the straight here. Except for he's running away pretty fast. Never mind. This seems familiar.
On your left. Clear left.
All right. Pass done.
Nice one, mate. Gasly behind us now, 0.7.
Not sure I can hit that stupid section better than that. What happens if I do that? If I go MGU H mode battery, does that mean it'll charge the battery faster? Hybrid, I would assume. Definitely makes me go slower. Not in the mood for that.
Alright, folks, don't let this guy distract you.
Driving the car around the track. This might be the most realistic F1 race we've seen yet. Not a whole lot of passing. Ooh, shots fired.
Gap to Gasly behind is now 1.3.
Saved up some battery. Let's use it. Use the juice. Turned into my best lap of the race.
Gaps now 1.8 seconds.
Draft him, then DRS him. And find ourselves in 14th. I still like our odds. Well, alright, he's actually pretty well. Yeah, I was gonna say he was pretty quick defending the position, but then he got hard on the brakes into turn one. Coming through.
Right side, clear right.
Come on, Bo. Good stuff. Keep it coming.
Now they can fight amongst themselves and I'll drive away. That works for me. With about, what, 15, 16, 17 laps to go? I don't know how math works. It's way too slow. One of the things I'll say about F1 is that there's such a dramatic difference between entrance speed into the particularly hairpins at the end of long straightaways, depending on what kind of MGU setting you're on, what kind of DRS situation you have going on. Like, you kind of have to move your braking zones more in F1 than I think any other car I've driven. Just a thought. So I was hoping Albon would take the fight to Gasly, but Gasly just kind of motored around him and is now harassing me.
Just keep it smooth, no mistakes.
We'll play defense.
Right side.
It might not matter.
Car right. Clear right.
It didn't matter. And we almost died.
The car in front of us is Gasly.
Man, he is gone.
Gap to Holden behind is increasing. It's now 2.4. The gap to Gasly ahead is increasing. It's now 2.3. P15.
That was impressive, the way Gasly came from nowhere. Just rocketed ahead of me. I mean, I know he had DRS. I don't really mean down the straightaway itself. I mean afterwards, because yeah, he got the pass done, and I was right there. He gained a couple of seconds in like one sector. I know I suck, but geez.
Consistency. Keep them coming.
Thanks, Jim. I'm not opposed to praise today. I feel like I need it. Hasn't been my race. Put it that way. No more praise from Jim? Alright, okay, fine. Just the one little nugget. Well, again, we keep bringing down our fastest lap time. 1:35.9 there. Take that. But despite bringing down our lap time, we're not getting any closer to Gasly, which makes me wonder if, like, the track conditions have changed, if, you know, we've lost a couple of degrees, or if the wind is shifted or something. Because if everybody's driving faster, we're not gaining any time. Whoa, way too late there. Oh, well, we made it work. Really thought I was going off into the runoff there. Yeah, now we're closing in on Gasly. I like that. Magnussen's not too far ahead either. Not making a pass here, but we're closing in. We're looking for an opportunity now, basically. I think this is our opportunity.
Right side, clear right.
Nicely done.
Not over yet. He's got the response down the long, whatever, side stretch here that we're going to come up to. And we just got a terrible exit. Alright, use some MGU. Use some battery there to get ourselves out of trouble.
The gap to Gasly behind us now, 0.9, 14th.
Alright, let's hold P14 this time. Magnussen is definitely falling back. He's looking very exploitable here. Just on pace. Did you say Hulkenberg is leading the race? That's a weird one. He sure did. Look on the Hulkenberg and Ocon. That's weird. What a weird top two there. My chat is a long-distance telegraph with a 30-minute delay. Ah, I see. Being productive. How dare you? Did you tell him Formula Nifty was on? But you couldn't make it? Formula Nift. Sorry, Hunter's my brand ambassador, I think. I'll have to wine and dine him, bring him to the next race, right?
All right, we're right.
Oh, we're going way wide here. Whoops.
The stewards have warned us for cutting the track.
Yeah. I just bailed out of trying to make the corner there. I knew I wasn't gonna. Didn't want to take out Magnussen. That was nice of me, wasn't it? Okay, so on the back straightaway still is technically 10th place. So within sight-ish is a point. I don't really foresee us gaining that much ground with only 6 laps or whatever left, but technically on the table.
Gap to Magnussen. Ahead is now 1.3.
I might have a point. We'll have to see at the end of the race if I have a point.
Side. Clear to the right.
Yeah, well, that would leave me feeling pretty pointless then. I don't know why you have to make such pointed statements. Keep it pointed in the right direction, huh? Yeah. Good point.
Right side, clear to the right.
Flacco is the pun police. It's a hard job being the pun police. Gonna have to get him something. Maybe some flowers, maybe some poinsettias. Oh, blue flag. Oh my gosh. Man, what the hell is up with the top three? Hulkenberg, Zhao, Ocon. What is going on back there? Up there. A point to new streamer? Hey.
Right side. Hold your line. Clear right.
Oh no, not the Twitter. His tweets. His valuable tweets. Leclerc is out. All the drivers you've heard of, they're out of the race.
Left side, clear to the left.
Oh, they're banging wheels.
Far left.
Nothing too friendly up there.
Hold your line, clear left.
I've kind of lost track of which Haas is the lead Haas in my mirror. Actually, now 9th place is right there, too. But I'm pretty sure I've used the last of the battery there. Okay, laser focus here. I gotta figure out how to get around, like, a bunch of cars before I go a lap down.
On your right. Still there.
How do I talk?
To the right.
hear a lot of contact to my left there.
Well done, Bo. Good bounce.
Don't know if everybody made it through there. Keep going. Looks like everybody got through there. 11th place. Couple laps left to figure out how to salvage some points out of this. Legitimately. Not just talking puns here.
Just ignore it, it'll go away. The yellow.
On your left, clear left. On your left, clear left.
It's getting testy up here. The crap. They are checking. Definitely the most intense racing here that we've seen today. And that makes sense. There's a point on the line, and right up in the middle of that battle is a battle for first, which we're not a part of. So it makes sense that everyone here, pretty intense.
On your left. Still there. Hold your line. Still there. Still there. Clear to the left.
That's it. That's the last of the battery. We've got a point.
Left side. Clear left.
We've got two. Clap, clap. Please clap. Now we just drive it like we stole it. As they say. Woo!
Behind is increasing. It's now.
That was a bit of chess going on there. And we're kind of not out of the woods if somebody has a lap like, who was that, Gasly? Somebody pulls one of those out of their butt. Because we're out of battery. Ran it completely dry. Verstappen is 7th place. I only know that because he's on the real time there. No, yeah, I don't know exactly what the point spread is, but do you have eyes?
One more lap to go.
But yeah, I don't know what the point spread is between 9th and 7th, but considering we spun twice today, and by we I mean me, I'll take a couple of points. This was the best outcome for a bad race, I think. We're on the last lap, by the way, so say your farewells to the Miami street course. One last time into this hairpin. I think Hulkenberg's gonna win the race, guys. Weird. Or heck, he's probably already won the race, hasn't he? Since we're essentially a lap down. Technically finishing on the lead lap. Alright, we're gonna finish it off. P9 in Miami, I'll take it.